Welcome back to the Senior Health Podcast, where East meets West in the pursuit of healthier, stronger aging. I want to start today with a simple question for our listeners. Have you ever stood up from your chair and felt your knees lock? Or noticed that by the evening, your ankles feel swollen, almost ballooned? This is something I hear often in my practice, and I know it's more than just discomfort. It's a loss of confidence, of freedom, and for many, independence. Too often, swelling in the legs and stiffness in the joints are brushed off as normal aging. But the truth is, these symptoms are not inevitable. They are signals telling us something about circulation and inflammation and deeper changes in our connective tissue. That brings us to today's topic, collagen. We usually hear about collagen in commercials for skin creams or supplements, but it is far more important than most people realize. Collagen is the scaffolding of our body, the glue that holds our tissues together, giving strength to joints, elasticity to skin, and resilience to tendons and ligaments. After 60, however, collagen production declines sharply, and that's when many people begin to notice swelling, stiffness, and even loss of mobility. To help us understand this more deeply, and to explore how food, not pills or surgery, can restore balance, I'm joined once again by a remarkable guest. He is a physician of traditional Japanese medicine, still vibrant at 84 years old, and a living example of the harmony between science and wisdom. Please welcome Dr. Shigeaki Hinohara.
Thank you, Dr. Miller. It is an honour, as always, to share this space with you and with our listeners. You know, in Japan, we have a saying, the bamboo that bends is stronger than the oak that resists. Our joints, our tissues, they must bend. They must remain flexible if we are to walk long into old age. But when collagen weakens, that flexibility is lost. The body becomes stiff, circulation slows, and swelling follows, just as a river overflows when its banks are weak. What I want people to understand is this. The body never stops wanting to repair itself. Even at 80 or 90 years old, the body still tries. The question is whether we give it what it needs, or whether we neglect it.
That's such a powerful image, and I see slices, the river overflowing when its banks are weak. And it resonates with what we see clinically. Collagen decline leading to weaker support structures, and then fluid leaking into surrounding tissues, creating that swelling people notice in their ankles or knees. I'd like to dig into this more with you, Dr. Hinohara. From your perspective, why is collagen so central to the aging process? And why do you emphasize food over supplements or medications?
Because food is both gentle and powerful. Every morning, every meal, we have a chance to nourish our body's repair. Supplements can help, yes, but they are often one note, like a single instrument. Food is an orchestra. It brings not only collagen itself, but also the minerals, enzymes, and antioxidants that help the body weave collagen fibers strong again. This is why in Japan we use whole foods, broths, seeds, mushrooms, fruits, to rebuild what time tries to take away. These are not exotic prescriptions. They are the simple foods your grandmother may have simmered quietly on the stove, foods that feed both body and spirit.
So let's go deeper into this, Dr. Hinohara. For someone listening at home who's wondering, why does swelling suddenly start happening after 60? What's actually going on inside the body? From a Western medical view, I know we talk about reduced circulation, inflammation, and tissue breakdown. But how would you explain it from your experience?
The story begins with collagen. After 60, the body produces less of it, sometimes 1% less each year. Collagen is what gives structure to the skin, tendons, ligaments, and the small cushions inside the joints. When collagen weakens, those cushions no longer hold fluid properly. The fluid escapes, moving into spaces it does not belong. That is swelling. And then there is circulation. Imagine a village with roads that have cracked and narrowed over time. Goods cannot reach their destination. The same happens in the body. Blood flow slows, nutrients are not delivered efficiently, and waste products linger. This stagnation worsens swelling and stiffness.
That image of the village roads is so clear. In Western medicine, we sometimes call that venous insufficiency, when the blood doesn't flow back from the legs as easily. It's interesting how your description and our medical language point to the same reality: weak collagen, weaker circulation, and inflammation building up. Now, let's talk about mistakes. Many of my older patients assume swelling is just normal aging and leave it at that. Others jump to quick fixes like taking painkillers every day or buying expensive collagen powders without changing their diet. What do you see as the most common errors people over 60 make when they face swelling and joint pain?
3 mistakes, I think. First, ignoring the body's signals. When swelling appears, many people dismiss it, saying, "It is just age." But symptoms are the language of the body. To ignore them is like ignoring the first cracks in a house wall. Small cracks tell us repairs are needed. Second, relying only on pills or shortcuts. As you said, collagen powders, painkillers, or even injections. These can bring relief, but they are temporary. They do not rebuild the foundation. It is like painting over the cracks without fixing the structure underneath. Third, neglecting daily nourishment. Too many skip breakfast or eat processed foods with little real nutrition. Collagen cannot form without building blocks, amino acids, minerals, vitamin C. Without those, the body cannot repair, no matter how much it wants to.
That resonates with me. I've seen patients who take supplements religiously but forget that the enzymes and minerals needed to actually use those supplements have to come from real food. And I think you're right. Many seniors treat symptoms instead of foundations.
Exactly. And the truth is, the body rewards consistency, not extremes. It is the bowl of soup each morning, the handful of seeds, the piece of fruit, not the rare, expensive powder. Small, steady nourishment brings repair that lasts.
So, if the quick fixes aren't enough, what should people do instead? What is the traditional approach you recommend for restoring collagen and easing swelling?
We return to food. In traditional Japanese medicine, we say medicine and food share the same root. This means that daily meals can either heal or harm. For collagen, there are certain foods that act like builders, repairing the weakened walls of that village we spoke about. For example, chicken feet simmered into broth. They are rich in type 1 and type 2 collagen, which are especially important for joint cushioning and skin elasticity. When simmered, they release gelatin and amino acids that feed the body's connective tissue directly. In Japan, this broth is taken not just as food, but as a form of quiet therapy. Warm, gentle, deeply nourishing. Another is beef tendon, slow cooked until soft. It is nearly pure collagen. We often prepare it with daikon radish, which lightens the dish and supports digestion. Seniors who eat tendon broth even once or twice a week often feel their knees become more flexible, less stiff. And then there are supporting foods. Mushrooms, such as shiitake, which do not contain collagen themselves, but provide copper and compounds that help the body weave collagen fibres stronger. Seeds like pumpkin or black sesame, which offer zinc, magnesium, and antioxidants to protect what collagen you still have. And finally, fruits like kiwi, bursting with vitamin C, the key spark that makes collagen formation possible.
That's such a rich list, and what strikes me is how each food brings something unique. Chicken feet and tendon bring direct collagen. Mushrooms bring minerals. Seeds bring trace elements. Kiwi brings vitamin C. It's not just one nutrient, it's a whole team working together. From the Western scientific side, I find it fascinating how modern research is confirming many of these traditional choices. For example, studies in journals like Nutrients and Food Chemistry have shown that gelatin from chicken feet improves joint stiffness, and that zinc and magnesium from seeds directly impact collagen synthesis. And kiwi, that's one of the best natural sources of vitamin C we know, essential for the enzymes that assemble collagen molecules. So what you're describing isn't just tradition. It's tradition with a physiological foundation that modern science now recognizes.
Yes, and this is the harmony I love, where science meets wisdom. We can explain in molecules what our ancestors explained with stories and proverbs, but the heart is the same. Healing comes from what we place on the table each day.
I appreciate that perspective. In the West, we sometimes dismiss traditional remedies as unproven, but when I listen to you describe them and then see the evidence in clinical research, it's clear these are not just folk practices. They are practical, measurable ways to reduce inflammation, improve circulation, and rebuild collagen.
And they are joyful. Healing should never be bitter medicine alone. When you sip warm broth, when you spread black sesame paste on toast, when you slice open a fresh kiwi, you are not just repairing the body, you are nourishing the heart.
You've shared such a powerful picture of how simple foods can rebuild collagen and restore balance. Before we close, I'd love if you could share a patient story. Maybe someone who benefited from these practices in a very real way.
Yes, I will tell you about Mrs. Tanaka. She was 73 when she came to me, with ankles so swollen that by evening she could not wear her shoes. Her knees ached and she told me, "Doctor, I feel as if the ground is slipping away from me." Instead of giving her medicine, I asked her to begin with food. Each morning she drank a small bowl of chicken foot broth. Twice a week she simmered beef tendon with daikon. She added a spoon of black sesame paste to her porridge, and she ended her breakfast with one kiwi. At first she doubted. She said, "Can something so small really matter?" But after 3 weeks, the swelling in her ankles had lessened. After 6 weeks, she walked to the temple without pain for the first time in years. She told me, with tears in her eyes, "I did not know food could give me back my legs."
That's beautiful. And what I love is that it wasn't extreme. It wasn't surgery or a complicated protocol. It was simple consistency. And I think that's the most empowering message for our listeners. You can take action right from your kitchen. So, let me summarize what we've learned today. If you're listening at home and struggling with swelling or joint stiffness, here are 3 steps you can begin tomorrow morning. Build with collagen-rich foods. Try a broth made with chicken feet or beef tendon once or twice a week. Support with minerals and seeds. A handful of pumpkin seeds or a spoon of black sesame paste to provide zinc, magnesium, and antioxidants. Spark collagen formation with vitamin C. Something as simple as 1 or 2 kiwis daily can make a difference.
Yes, and timing matters. The morning is the best moment when the body is ready to receive nourishment after rest. If you give it warm broth or seeds at sunrise, the body absorbs more deeply. Food taken in the quiet hours becomes part of your strength.
That's such a beautiful thought. The idea of food is not just nutrition, but a morning ritual of healing.
I will leave our listeners with one line. Feed your body as if you plan to walk for decades, because every bite is a step towards strength.
Wise words as always. Thank you, Dr. Hinohara, for sharing your wisdom, and thank you to everyone listening. This has been the Senior Health Podcast. Try these simple practices and let us know how you feel after 7 days. Until next time, take care of your body, and let your body take care of you.